6, 8, 12, 16, 18, 24 months? How long is my new house going to take to be built in New Braunfels in 2022? This is a huge question because new build times of new construction homes in New Braunfels have been a huge problem since the beginning of 2021.
It's taken a bit longer than we had hoped for. We were told all along, though, to expect that there'd be delays with construction, with workers.
And the extended build times in New Braunfels are forcing buyers to extend their leases while they wait for their homes to be built. And this is not a cheap delay.
What we're paying here to rent while we wait for the house to be built is more than I expected.
Are we going to continue to hear these frustrations going on this year in 2022? I mean, simple question. Hey, look, how long is my house going to take to be built in New Braunfels in 2022? This video today covers that. You guys are going to hear the truth. You're not going to hear spin. You know, on this channel, we just tell it like it is. No tap dancing around the truth. Straight answers you're going to hear right straight from the horse's mouth today. And if you guys are new here to my channel, thanks so much for hopping on, because every week we're putting out videos just like this one about what it's like to live in New Braunfels. And I want to hear from you guys today. If you already built a home in New Braunfels, let's say end of 2020 or in 2021, how did that process go for you? How long did it take? And if you're currently building a home in New Braunfels right now or the New Braunfels area, how is that going for you? Please drop your comments in the comment section below. Nobody could have predicted the twilight zone that real estate walked into in 2021.
I think we are out of lots citywide in New Braunfels to build on now.
There's no homes. There's almost nothing anywhere. End of 2020, beginning of 2021 really was the perfect storm thanks to the pandemic. People can now work from home. They can work remotely, which meant they could get up and move their lives for a better life to Texas, and in particular here to New Braunfels. I mean, homes more affordable here. Money was cheap, still is cheap with the interest rates, but then boom. We had a once in a lifetime, I should say once in a long time winter blast here, and what seemed like 2 months of monsoon rains, which delayed home building times. And you add to that the huge shortage of workers and materials, and that not only increased the prices here, the home prices here in New Braunfels, but it also increased build times. But what about this year, 2022? How long can you expect to wait for your house to be built? Here is what one local builder is telling me. He says, quote, "It's hard to say. My sources tell me that prices will continue to rise because demand is still high. The cost to build a home and the availability of land will continue to go up in 2022. As for skilled labor," he says, "this is something builders have struggled with for the past decade and will continue to struggle with." He says supply chain issues will continue in 2022. With rising interest rates, the slowdown is going to help supply chain issues. And in the third quarter, I'm predicting, he says, a little bit more normal, end quote. So that's the skinny from at least one local builder here in New Braunfels about build times in 2022, at least in the first 2 quarters. Now, in a couple minutes, you're going to hear from several more local builders, and this is very important, guys. I'm telling you, I get these guys so that you can have more information to make decisions. Hey, am I going to move to New Braunfels this year, or am I going to wait for my house to be built and move in 2023, let's say? But for right now, it looks like if 2022 was looking at itself in the mirror, it's looking at 2021. Supply chain issues, worker shortages, at least in some cases. I reached out to another local builder here in New Braunfels and put him on the spot and said, hey, what are you guys doing differently in 2022 to improve build times? And this builder told me that they're actually recruiting more workers from Houston to move to San Antonio, New Braunfels area to live for next to nothing while they work on getting homes completed here. And that builder is also addressing the supply chain issues with its own solution aimed at improving build times in 2022 here in New Braunfels.
We have acquired a giant warehouse in College Station that we are buying up all kinds of anything you think of in a house. We're buying it: windows, extra everything, AC units, anything, shingles, lumber, and we're just sticking it in this giant warehouse in College Station, and they're hiring drivers to just, if we can't get material, we have it there.
And this is great news, right? I mean, a local builder actually being proactive about build times, improving build times here in New Braunfels in 2022. But what does that mean for you? How long is your house going to take to be built in 2022? And I promise we will get to that in just a second, I promise. But first, we cannot bury this next point because it's contributing to the longer build times in New Braunfels. Builders have two categories: sales and closings, contracts and closings. And right now, builders have way more sales than they do closings because of shortages in workers and materials, but they have to. You can't just have all closings and have no sales in the pipeline, because if you have that as a builder, you go out of business after you close all your homes. But you also cannot have way more sales than you do homes being closed.
We're struggling because we just sold too many
At one time.
at one time.
Yeah. So what is the sold versus the closed this year? Like what percentage
I don't know.
of yours?
Of mine, I mean, right now, all of mine, so 4 we're supposed to close in December, only 1's gonna make it in December.
Okay.
The other 3 are moving out to January.
All right, so take all of this information that you've heard up to this point in this video and get ready to take some notes, because you're going to learn a lot about your plans, what your next steps are. How long is your house going to take to be built in 2022 here in New Braunfels? Here's what several local builders are telling me.
I tell people that since everything got crazy, historically, we have been taking on average 10 months to build a home that pre-pandemic would have taken us 6 to 7.
I give like our regular build schedule, right? So we're saying it'll close in May, but I'm going to tack on 3 more months. And then it could possibly go past that because of things inherent in construction and weather that are out of my control.
My thing and what other sales counselors are doing are just setting the expectation that it's going to be a long time. We're no longer in the single digit months anymore of build. I'm telling people, let's start with a year right now.
What are you telling people? You are inventory, obviously, but when people ask, Larry, how long is it going to take? What are you telling them right now?
6 months.
You don't say 6, 7, or 8?
Nope.
Okay.
Because the 90% of the time they start a house and they won't give us pricing and release it to me to sell until all permitting's done and the lumber has been ordered.
You're a custom, semi-custom builder. What are you guys telling people in 2022? They're coming to you, hey, we got this nice lot. How long is it going to take to get our house built in 2022? What are you telling them?
8 to 10 months was our build
14 months.
Wait, Trevor, you're saying 8 to 10. Javier, you're saying 14.
8 to 10
Well,
months.
from start to finish, yeah.
For the whole sequence, a year, and then 8 to 10 months of actual construction.
There you go. You guys just heard from several local builders here at New Braunfels. They're giving you real-time information, providing real-time feedback for you so you're better able to plan your next steps. Now, you may want to decide to stay in the state you're in right now or in the city you're in right now until your house is finished with construction, until it's completed, or if you have to move to New Braunfels area sooner because of a job, or just because you want your kids to be in school sooner, or just because you want to be here sooner, move here, rent, with the real possibility though, guys, remember, we don't tap dance here, okay? This is just straight talk. The real possibility that you're going to have to extend your lease and pay more money out of pocket because your new home build is taking longer. If you're financing your brand new home here in New Braunfels, at some point you have to lock in your rate or face the real possibility that you're gonna have to pay more money out of pocket for a rate extension. And it just happens. It happens, it does. So here's what one of our local lenders is saying about trying to navigate the sliding build times here in New Braunfels with locking your rate down.
I have that conversation with my borrower and say, look, rates are steadily increasing. You want to lock it in. But there's a chance if the builder hasn't finished on the house yet and we've got to push it out, say, another 20 or 30 days, you've got to pay for that extension.
It's a tightrope, but just make sure you have a lender that's constantly watching rates for you, and make sure you're asking your builder the tough questions before you sign the contract. Hey, listen, it was once said to me that 5 minutes of offense prevents 30 minutes of defense on the back end. So there you go, 2022, just hey, strap in, have some patience, have some flexibility with your new build here in New Braunfels in 2022, and you're gonna be just fine. Listen guys, I really try to give you information you can use right away. So let me know if today's video helps you out. And if you plan on moving here to New Braunfels, I'd love to be your real estate resource of choice. You guys know you can email me, you can call me, or you can shoot me a text. As always, thank you so much for watching this video, and we'll see you on the next one.